The Raptors make it 6 in a row as they take down the New Orleans Pelicans 105-101. I'm Randy Urban, and this is Raptors Night Cap. Tonight, we're joined by Leo Rautins, Sherman Hamilton, and Jack Armstrong. Jack, how about those crazy threes by Fred down the stretch?
The guy's amazing, and the guy's range is just off the charts. And man, I thought he and Pascal Siakam tonight were just sensational in different instances of the game. Pascal in the third quarter, where he really took over that quarter, and Fred VanVleet just, clutch. I don't know what other word to use other than clutch.
Yeah, sure. Those threes, when they're going in, I'm like, are they going in? They're like almost going to hit the roof. I was like, what's going to happen here? What were you thinking when they were going up?
Well, I'm thinking that Fred's going to make them because that's what he's been doing. And there's no doubt that Fred, understands. I mean, there were a couple of possessions there where Fred was upset with the officiating. And he was having conversations with the refs. And he said, enough of the talking. It's going to come down, and I'm just going to spray this place with some three-point shots. Yeah. And the interesting thing about Fred, you talk about him stepping further back. He's also shooting the ball higher. So now he adds to his ability as a smaller player to create more separation by stepping away and releasing it up instead of forward first. And all of a sudden now defenders are running at him for so far, and then he's so smart, he puts the ball on the floor and he attacks. But his ability to feel the pulse of a game and just give it what it needs, whether it's him scoring the ball or his teammates or getting in there and getting a big offensive rebound, he just has it. And he's so impressive to watch when he's orchestrating things out there.
Leo, it's a special thing when a player, you can tell, wants that ball at that moment. He's relishing that time and he's shooting it with supreme confidence.
Well, a couple of things, Randy, like, Sherman mentioned, he got a little frustrated with the referees. He took some uncharacteristic shots and forced a few plays. And what's the key? You got to regroup. You got to get back, right? You got to get back to where you need to be. And he did an unbelievable job of getting right back, getting out of that mini funk. And here's the thing, during the NBA season, you get on these rolls sometimes, right? Where the ball's falling, the basket looks huge, you're putting up big numbers. You got to ride it, and you got to ride that as long as you can, because it's not gonna be every single game. But right now, Fred is on one of those rolls where it's every game. So if you're the Raptors, you're Fred, you want to just continue to try to keep this hot streak going as long as you can, because is it fun to watch. But the guy is not afraid of anything out there.
Jack, in the NBA, any win is a good win, no matter how you get it. But how was New Orleans able to keep making runs and keep themselves in this game tonight?
I thought they played a terrific road game. I thought they really battled tonight. Obviously, they lost, but Willie Green's got to be feeling pretty good about how hard his team played. They didn't have Josh Hart, who's a good player for them. And I just thought they moved the ball well. Their perimeter people, their second unit guys, shot it well. I just thought they played with really good energy, and they counterpunched. This was a game filled with lots of 7-0 runs. It was back and forth. So to me, this is a really good win for the Raptors tonight, because I thought they got New Orleans' best punch tonight and best effort. And that's a good win. I don't care. And, tonight you don't have Gary Trent Jr., so that changes the way your team looks. But I tell you what, it's exciting, because now you got momentum and you're playing the number one team in the Western Conference here, the team that got into the NBA Finals a year ago in the Phoenix Suns. Bring it on. I'm excited about Tuesday night.
Sure. Recently, the Raptors have gone with lineups with no point guard. They did it tonight, and I thought there was a moment in that third quarter where it was crucial, where Siakam made a bucket, and then OG bodied his man, created a little separation, had made that step back jumper. And I know the Pelicans ended up coming back and tying it, whatever, but this lineup seems to be effective. What do you think about it?
Well, I think the way Nick calls plays and the responsibilities he gives throughout the roster, there are times where you can go without a point guard. And we saw the Raptors be able to handle that because your bigs can handle the basketball. Pascal can handle it. We've seen Scotty play that pseudo point guard position at times. So there's a lot of confidence in Nick that his team understands how to move the ball, make good decisions, and then when the ball needs to get to somebody, they'll get it to somebody. And to you guys' point, I thought in the third quarter, Pascal was phenomenal. Even going into the fourth quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter, there was no Fred on the floor. And all Nick did was allow Pascal to orchestrate and allow the team to play off of Pascal. And let's face it, this is a different NBA. Back in the day, you had your point guard who brought the ball up, set the offense up, and then the play started. Now there's more flow. Now there's more continuity of the play. So you don't need that traditional point guard on the floor all the time. But when you have bigs that can make decisions, handle the ball, and shoot it, you're at a distinct advantage. And the Raptors have a few of those players.
Hey, Sherm, something, if I can add to that, what we don't see a lot of in today's NBA is ball pressure up the floor, right? The old days, you'd have you guys get in your grill and ride you all the way up the floor. You don't see much of that anymore. So basically, anybody that's got a decent handle can bring the ball up the floor, and Raptors have a bunch of guys that can handle the ball, and they're all eager passers, so they're all willing passers. So you get up the floor, you get rid of it, you get it back, and you put yourself in pick and roll situations. Easy to do.
Mm-hmm. Leo, let's talk about Chris Boucher, because he's been in some of those all big lineups. He's really playing some of his best basketball right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken a while to get there, and it really doesn't matter how you get there. The point is you get there, and I think he's realizing the things he can do to contribute, right? I mean, end of this game, he had some big rebounds in this game at both ends of the floor. He's there defensively. He's active. Hey, he's been around long enough where he knows what Nick Nurse wants. He can give you a lot at the defensive end of the floor. And he's not looking to just get that three-point shot up. He hasn't been shooting it great, but he's not forcing those looks. He's letting the game come to him and realizing that, hey, with the certain guys on the floor right now, his impact is not going to be taking another three. His impact is going to be making sure the Raptors get a second or third shot attempt.
Mm-hmm. Jack, I was there at the game for the first half, and then I come home to do the show from home and watch the game on TV. And, it's taken a little bit of time to get into this no fans thing. Like it's a different game, and it's got to be different for the players. How hard do you think it's been on the Raptors to maintain that sort of home court advantage without the fans?
Here's an interesting thing, and Sherman and Leo will both agree with me on this. It's not just the fans. It's cold in the building.
Real cold. I'm freezing right now.
Yeah, it's cold in the building. And I must have drank, 4 cups of tea tonight. Not only because I just like to have it for my throat, I was cold. I needed something to warm me up. And to me, as you guys know, one of the most important things is to break a sweat and to maintain a sweat. And when you go to the bench and all those kind of things, it's hard. I thought both of these teams tonight played a pretty good game considering. And again, it's one thing with the fans, but I just think too, it's hard to keep sharp and get a flow going and keep a sweat going when it's so cold in the building.
And Jay, you know what might be helping these guys too is last year they played in an arena with fans, but a lot of those fans were cheering for the other team anyway, right? I mean, how many Raptor fans were in the arena in Tampa? So what would you rather have? At least here you got all your guys, and their guys are pretty energetic. They're all cheering each other on. Or do you want a half full arena cheering for the other team? So I think these guys have, in some ways, got a little training and preparation for what they're going through right now.
Sherm, as well as anybody, like those fans provide a little extra juice too, right? And when you're playing defense, when you make a shot, you get a little bit more fired up after that when you get that reaction from the crowd.
Well, that can be very situational too. There's junctures in the game where, sometimes a jump from the fans can really help you on the floor. Players will say, we're not listening to the fans, but they feel energy. They know when there's juice in the building, and they can feed off of that. So there is a difference when fans are here, and some of it has to be manufactured now based on the fact that you don't have the fans here. So as Leo mentioned, the bench has to be very active, and I'm sure in that locker room, they've talked about being energetic on the bench and making sure the guys on the floor feel that energy. So sometimes I feel, though, when you get to insulate all the controllable factors and you depend on your team to get it done, I think that creates a different type of mentality, a different type of resiliency, and a different type of appreciation for when the fans are in the building and they are cheering and you get that opportunity again.
Leo, one of the all-time great guys of the NBA, returned to the Raptors arena tonight. Jonas Valanciunas. What was it like to see him, first of all? And how do you like the fit with the Pelicans?
It's always great to see JV. I mean, he's very appreciative of the years he had in Toronto. I mean, his NBA career started here. And he's always thought extremely well of the organization and all the people in the city itself. So, and the Lithuanian community, which is obviously very big. So, it was great to see him. We had some great opportunities to chat and talk. He's in an interesting situation. New Orleans is a team that's trying to figure out how to win, right? They're trying to figure out how to build. Zion is a big part of what they're doing, and he's not around. So that's created obviously a lot of issues with this team. You don't have necessarily a stable lineup of going down deep of guys you can go to. And JV's been asked to do different things. Normally he's a pick and roll guy, and all of a sudden he's a pick and pop guy. We always joked around about his threes, but now the threes are what they want to see. So, JV says, okay, that's what you want. I'll give it to you. But, personally, I'd like to see a nice mix of that. If you want to win some games, I can understand what they're doing. If you have Zion or if you have those guys in the mix, yeah, maybe you don't want JV rolling and getting in Zion's way, but you don't have Zion right now. So I don't necessarily know if I'd want to be picking and popping all the time, but JV accepts his role and he does it well.
Real quick, Jack, before we get into some overtime, JV's got one of those personalities that he makes you feel a part of the team, no matter what your role is within the organization. And that is a special thing.
Oh, well, he's a special guy. And Leo, Sherm, you guys would agree with me. He's gregarious. He's funny. He's fun to be around. He had me dying laughing out on the court earlier. He's just got a great way about it. And he gets it. I guess that would be the best thing I could say. In a world where there's a lot of money and there's a lot of ego, he gets it. He laughs at a lot of it and the absurdity sometimes of what the NBA is and what the NBA's become. He just rolls his eyes and laughs about it and jokes about it. But he's a pro. He brings it, and to me, he's just been one of my all-time favorite Raptors because of just not only what he brought on the court, but off the court. Ended up being a really, really good pick for Brian Colangelo.
Sure. Real quick, last question, just about Klay Thompson, because he's making his return, first game in like 900 and something days. Do you expect him to have the kind of return after an Achilles injury that we saw from Kevin Durant?
You know what? Honestly, I just want to see the guy play. I want to see him get off the court after this game. And I want to see him be able to move around tomorrow and be able to prepare for another game, whatever it is. I feel for this guy. I mean, he hasn't played in a while, and having to go through two major injuries like that, lesser people would have quit that and then walked away. He has his money. He doesn't have to do it. But I really commend him. And I really don't care about his numbers in this game. I just want to see him play. I want to see him be healthy. And I want to see him to continue to be able to play as the season rolls on. But if he does come back to being that player that he was, or even close to it, look out. Golden State is already a monster. Adding Klay to that situation, this team could go to that next level and be a real problem for the league.
Leo and Jack, he was pretty outspoken about not being on the 75th anniversary team. Should he be on it?
Well, I'm not going to, hey, the problem is, I mean, you can go through so many different players and you can talk about, some of the guys' longevity, how long some guys have been in the league, what they've done. You're always going to have discussions. My thing is, I look at this guy and I really like his game. And I think, Sherman made a point. I think everybody in the whole NBA is happy to see him back, right? That he's that kind of a guy. The NBA is better because he's back today. And I think Steve Kerr said the great thing. He said, I don't care what happens in this game. All right, this is a game I'll remember forever. That tells you the impact this guy has.
Jack?
Yeah, no, I concur with what both guys said. And to me, you look at him and you look at Wiseman as well. You add those two guys to the mix. Golden State's got a chance. We're going to see Phoenix here Tuesday night. They're the number one seed right now in the West. Golden State's right on their tail. Very entertaining Western Conference. And obviously we saw the Utah Jazz here the other night. who are having a great year. Unfortunately, they're going through some challenges right now, but the top of the West is really good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it for now. Got to stop you there, guys. Next game for the Raptors, Tuesday night at Scotiabank Arena against the Phoenix Suns. Tip-off goes at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you then.